Dear Colin Trevorrow, recently you've gone out of your way to acknowledge a criticism levied at the Jurassic World T-Rex design. I'd like to discuss this subject and make an argument that I hope all who are listening will pay attention to. Just a day or so ago, a fan account on Twitter posted these images critiquing the design for the 2015 and 2018 T-Rex, claiming that the newer CGI model is inaccurate to the original 1993 design from Jurassic Park. However, nearly all of the information that has been provided for the argument has been based around subjective opinion instead of objective fact that can be traced back to legitimate evidence. The reason I am bringing this up is because I think if a change is made for Jurassic World Dominion, we could very well be looking at a decision that would do nothing but hurt the continuity and verisimilitude that has been built up over the course of these films. And it is a decision that a great many people do not agree with. So Colin Trevorrow, please, before you make any such decisions on the Tyrannosaurus Rex design in the next movie, I hope you listen to this video and take what I and many other fans are saying into consideration. Now let's go ahead and begin. Factually speaking, there is no such thing as an accurate 1993 design for the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. It is publicly known by all of those who will listen that the original Tyrannosaurus Rex animatronic from that movie, as well as the CGI model in the same film, are not identical with one another. Industrial Light and Magic released an article on the visual effects work that they did on Jurassic World in order to explain this. However, despite this admission from the people who straight up worked on the movie, a narrative has been framed with counterfeit arguments that holds no basis in objective fact that the Jurassic World design did not use a, quote, accurate model. But if you have the intellectual capability to simply count to 4, you can see here that both of these models from Jurassic Park are not identical to one another by simply counting the number of teeth at the front of its snout. Furthermore, the exact changes made for the CGI model, which is actually shown on screen more than the animatronic, feature this design for the T-Rex. These changes include the following. The arms on the digital model are a different length to the animatronic. The feet are larger and stockier on the digital model. Also, the head of the digital model from 1993 has the jaw far more streamlined than the animatronic from that same film. And there are even some adjustments to the angle of the T-Rex's eyes. However, despite all of this information being easily accessible and available to the public, I will even leave a link for that article down in the description below. There has been a narrative framed that this animatronic head is what the Tyrannosaurus Rex should look like in Jurassic World. There has also been a similar fallacious argument that claims all of the T-Rex individuals in the original trilogy kept this singular design and looked accurate to one another. This is also entirely false. It is well known by those of us who have done the research that the skeletal structure and entire anatomy radically morphs itself into something completely different in between shots where either an animatronic model was being used or a CGI model was being used. The simple objective truth is that these tyrannosaurs do not look the same despite them being the exact same animal that is represented through different forms of special effect. This is true in Jurassic Park, this is true in The Lost World, and this is true in Jurassic Park 3. However, when Jurassic World came around, you as a director, as well as everyone working at ILM, decided to make a Tyrannosaurus Rex model that would actually not break continuity with itself in the 2015 film. This same Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Rex was later digitally created by David Vickery's team from ILM for Fallen Kingdom, before Neil Scanlon's practical effects team did a 3D print of the digital models in order to provide us with a 100% accurate design across the board for both the animatronic and the computer-generated imagery. The way this was achieved was by scanning a 4-foot casting of the Tyrannosaurus Rex that was made in 1992 and blending that with the CGI design that Steven Spielberg altered in post-production while working on Jurassic Park. Historically speaking, animator Steven Spaz Williams changed the Tyrannosaurus Rex animatronic design for all of the 3D CGI shots that the dinosaur can be seen in back in 1993. This CGI model is what is seen by the audience the most in the original Jurassic Park. This is the version of the design that breaks out of its paddock. This is the version that is featured in the Must Go Faster scene. This is the version of the design that hunts down and kills a Gallimimus. And this is the version that eventually does battle with the raptors at the end of the film. The only time the animatronic model is shown on screen in Jurassic Park is for some select shots of the main road attack, where it looks radically different from the other design that I've already mentioned appears far more in the same film. However, despite all of this objectively true information that again is readily available to the public, there has still been the repetitive and false critique that this is what the Jurassic World T-Rex should factually look like in the new films. This is both a dishonest and intellectually deceptive argument that has been used to push a subjective opinion upon the filmmakers because they know that you and everyone working around you will listen. However, if you simply look at the opinions of those who are responding to the critique, you will see that not all fans are deceived by this argument, and many of them are quite tired of the same old repeated fallacies. I myself am of course one of these fans, and I have spent a very long time talking to people who have worked at Industrial Light and Magic, as well as the wider Jurassic World team, and even those who have worked on older Jurassic Park projects from 20 years ago. I, as a fan, and all of those who accept the truth of what really goes down in the special effects of these movies, do not agree with the decision to alter the Jurassic World Dominion T-Rex in order to have it look like the animatronic head from 1993. This would not only break the continuity that the Jurassic World films have built over the last 5 years, but it would also set us back to the skeletal morphing that was present in the first 3 films, which, had they been made today, would almost certainly not go through with this decision to completely throw out a canon design in favor of something that a select group of people find to be subjectively better. I myself say this as someone who prefers the 1993 animatronic over every other design that has been made for that Tyrannosaurus. With that being said, I am not going to let my personal viewpoints dictate the entire redesign of an animal that currently holds consistency and accuracy to the film franchise just because I like one model over the other. It would be both dishonest and a step back from what all of the hardworking people at Industrial Light and Magic, as well as Stan Winston Studios, did to create the dinosaur that we see in Jurassic Park back in 1993. And it would also be a decision that throws all continuity out of the window instead of being an honest, objective fix that currently needs to be addressed. When Jurassic Park came out in 1993, it was a hallmark for visual effects and changed the entire film industry as we know it. Computer-generated imagery quickly took the film world by storm, and in its wake, a ton of digital effects companies would be birthed in order to show us things that we'd never seen before. That is the legacy of Jurassic Park, a legacy that changed the face of movies through its groundbreaking implementation of visual effects via CGI. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, as I've stated earlier, provided us with a T-Rex model that was for the first time in franchise history 100% accurate across the board in both Neil Scanlon's animatronic as well as David Vickery's CGI. This is something that would have been done had the filmmakers had the capacity to do so in 1993. However, now all of this hard work is being challenged and threatened by those who only wish to see the 1993 animatronic design in the next movie. As I've gone over in this video, the claims that the Jurassic World T-Rex should look like that model are based around either entirely wrong misinformation or blatant factless lies. That's why I and everyone else who agrees are making the case to say that please, Colin Trevorrow, do not alter the Jurassic World Dominion design and break continuity just to please those who don't even hold the same standard to the original films. Jurassic Park should be a legacy based in technical ingenuity and groundbreaking trailblazing, not a franchise that seeks only to appease fans who don't even have the facts straight on what it is that they're talking about. This is by no means meant to be a derogatory or inflammatory video made to criticize those on the opposite side of the fence, but it is made to educate and reason with those who will listen to the truth and reality of what is going on. When the decision was made to not kill off any good guy characters in Fallen Kingdom due to backlash from the violent deaths in Jurassic World, I made a point that not all criticism that these movies have been provided with have done them well once implemented. I think several others can agree that at least having some human casualties on the protagonist's side would have made for more suspenseful scenes where you didn't know who would make it out alive or dead. However, once that critique was applied to the film, I feel like it did nothing to help Fallen Kingdom in the long run. So once again, please, for anyone who will listen, altering reality to appease a select group of subjective opinions that are not representative of legitimate facts and based in real evidence is something that I do not think should be done to the next movie. If this happens, it will only give us an inconsistency between films that will retroactively undo all of the work that has been done in the last 5 years. As bad as the Lagoon change was in the last movie, which you have admitted was a legitimate mistake, this will be far worse. Forcing the filmmakers to change the canon design of the Jurassic World T-Rex to something that wasn't even canon with itself back in 1993 is not objective truth, it is subjective opinion, and it should not be projected onto the franchise or filmmakers in order to simply push a narrative. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and thank everyone who has ever worked on any one of these movies for putting in their hard time and effort in each individual production. I cannot change what I'm not in control of, but I do think it's necessary to speak up for those that can't do so themselves. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you all continue to support what I do, and I never want you to ever forget that. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video, and hope that you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.